You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a successful motivational speaker and trusted life coach, Nancy knows how you can live the life you want regardless of the challenges you face. Although she's legally blind, Nancy's mission is to inspire others to overcome obstacles and live life full out. Call in at 800-333-0001 to ask Nancy for advice on topics such as relationships, finances, business, health, and more. Just call 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show. I am Nancy Solari, and today we're going to be talking about patience. I'll tell you, patience is actually something I have a lot of, but I think it's due to my visual impairment, which I know I've talked about on numerous shows. I'm going to tell you a story about that in a second. But patience is one of those things that you can develop over time. Sometimes we are eager, we are driven, we are anxious, but we can tap into patience even under stressful times. And we're going to be talking about that throughout the show. We are going to be taking your calls as well. That number is 800-333-0001, 800-333-0001. And if you want to listen to today's show again or any of our episodes, just go to livingfullout.com, click on the radio show tab, and all of the episodes will be waiting there for you to hear. And lastly, if you have an inspirational story and you'd like to be a guest on our show, we want to hear from you. You can reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com. Again, that's connect@livingfullout.com. At that same email, you can request resources that you may need to bring more patience into your life, and we'll make sure to get those to you as well. I'm getting a word from our producer here that we do have a caller on the line, so we're going to go check in with them. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for calling. How can we help you today?
I guess my question today is, me and my friends have been, fighting a lot lately. Mm-hmm. And then when we resolve things, we just kind of say, I'm sorry, and we apologize. We don't, talk about the real issue. And I'm just trying to figure out how we can, talk about that without hurting their feelings.
Well, do you feel like this issue is like the elephant in the room? Like, at some point it has to be addressed, or it's just going to always be there?
Yeah, because, when we fight, I just think about how we never resolved the last fight, and it just kind of piles on top. We can get in a fight over a fork, but it'll just be because of, previous fights.
Can you give me a quick example? What do you guys, what's the big argument? What's that elephant in the room? What is it?
We were fighting over remote control one time, and ultimately the big elephant is just, I feel like they don't respect me, they treat me like a child at some points in time.
Yep, okay. And you know what? Right there, that's what you say to them. So here's the thing. You have a choice in life to let people treat you a certain way or teach them how you want to be treated. And it's really important to nip those actions in the bud, those behaviors, as soon as they happen. Because otherwise they will build. I mean, look at the resentment that you're already starting to build, right? It's this underlying thing that's always there. And when they do things to make you feel like a child, when they do things to make you feel small, does that make you kind of sink down in your seat? Does that make you kind of want to bite your tongue and not speak up?
Yeah, because I feel like if I were to, express how I feel, it just wouldn't go anywhere. They'd just be getting mad at me.
Right. And so here's the thing. When you envision who you are and who you want to be in the world, are you that person that plays small, or are you somebody that plays big and is expressive and confident and hungry for life? Who are you? The small person or the large person?
I think I would be that person that plays big.
Mm-hmm. Right? So in some ways, it's interesting because here you are thinking it's them and that we need to fix them or, bring this elephant in the room to light for them. But really, it lies within you. See, you're the one who has the control to teach them how you want to be treated. So you never have to be small. You never have to play small. You can always be that confident person, but it always comes from you standing up for yourself. You're your best advocate. You're your best cheerleader in life. Do you see that? So don't worry about having that conversation. Don't worry about hurting their feelings, because the thing is you're going to hurt yourself more by playing small in life because you're worried about their feelings. I'd rather see you express yourself, get that elephant in the room out of there. It's too big an animal for the room, right? Get it out of there and just play big. Can you do that?
I can.
I know you can. Say it again. I can.
I can do it.
You can do it. That's right. So today is a perfect day to start that. Okay? Now don't pick a fight
All right.
don't pick a fight out of the blue, but if anybody makes you feel small today, set them straight. Right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, and we'll be thinking about you. Okay?
All right. Thanks for the advice.
You got it. Bye-bye. So, perfect example with that caller. I mean, she patiently has been biting her tongue, just waiting and waiting and waiting. But what is that getting her? That's getting her resentment, and she's building this up to be a bigger thing than it needs to be. Sometimes we just have to literally nip that in the bud and move on. And being open and vulnerable with people, that's a large part of living full out. Playing small, walking on eggshells, biting your tongue, that's not allowing you to be free, to be the person you want to be. We're getting another word that we have a caller on the line. We're going to go back to the call. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Hello, thank you.
Hi, my name's Caroline, and I'm going to be applying to grad school soon. So I guess I'm just kind of wondering what I can do to make myself stand out among the applicants and in interviews.
Great question. Well, let me ask you, Caroline, what do you think is your, let's call it a superpower? What is your biggest strength?
I think I kind of, as far as in interviews, I kind of have a really warm personality, so I think I'd kind of stand out in the nice way.
Okay, so let's take that warm personality, that trait. So for each company that you apply for, whether it be a cover letter or if you're in the interview with them, you want to research that company and really research the position that you're applying for. And think of all the different ways that your warm personality could strengthen the connection with their clients, their customers. How your warm personality could maybe open up new markets for them, could branch out their business in a different way. How that warm personality could be the perfect team member for their company. So you have to sell yourself on what are your strengths. And sometimes if we don't know our strengths, the best way to do that is interview, 3 to 5 different friends. And maybe ask them, when you consider me, as someone you come to for advice, what do you come to me for? What am I good at in your eyes? And let them tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 things that they come to you for. Then you want to ask them, where are areas in my life that you think I could improve? And that's an important one because it's our life journey to always get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you kind of put these things together and you interview your friends and family, then you're going to be able to put together that list where you're going to be able to be in an interview or be in a cover letter and rattle off all the things that you're good at. And then the things that you need to improve on, wow, that's great insight. You can take a class to get better at something. You might have to weave in patience. That's our theme of the day. Maybe someone wants you to be more patient in life, or I hear it all the time. Clients need to be more on time. They need to be more respectful of other people's time. And so let all that feedback flow in and then take that and apply it to applying for a job. Is that something you can do?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and then also smile. Because I can tell that you have an awesome personality. Smile, smile, smile all the time, right? Sometimes even just a simple smile, a simple giggle will get you the job. Because what? People work with those that they know, like, and trust, right? So when you smile, when you're that warm, caring person, when you are thinking of all the benefits that you would bring to the company, that's when you're going to get hired. Okay?
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for calling in and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So again, right there, I love that she's calling in wanting to grow, to get better, be better. And sometimes in life we have to consider, what is our USP? What is our unique selling proposition? That could be something that you can apply towards getting a job. It can be when you're looking to get into a relationship. What makes you special? What makes you unique? We all have that something. And if we can't figure it out on our own, then ask the friends and family in our life. When we talk about patience, that's our theme for today. Sometimes we have to be patient with ourselves. We have to be patient with the way that we might talk to ourselves. Sometimes we have that negative self-talk, things that we do right, things that we do wrong. It's a life journey. It's not meant to be there in a snap. You got to live it. You got to let life wash over you. So as we continue to go through this show, think about where in your life you need more patience. And then together over the course of the show or even after the show, let's put together a plan of action so you let that patience just come out all through your body, through every pore in your body, so that you can live your life full out. We'll be coming right back after this break. And this is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Thank you for joining us today. I am Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about patience. How do we get more patience in our life? I mean, sometimes it is really hard. Your back's up against the wall. People are driving you crazy. You got deadlines. You got all these demands and requirements on you, and you just want to throw your hands in the air and say, I give up. I need space. I need help. And that is the moment when you want to center yourself. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but I want to teach you guys real quickly an exercise. When you are feeling stressed, when you're feeling as though the world is falling apart around you, you want to go to a quiet place. And you want to do everything you can to lay down on the ground and try to relax, or on a bed or on a couch, whatever. But you want to start at your toes, and you want to try to feel the blood, the warmth of your toes, or if your toes are cold, the coolness of your toes. You want to feel your ankles. You want to feel the heel of your foot, your calves, your knee, and you're going to work all the way up your body. You want to feel every vein, all the blood pumping. If you're sore in a certain area because you've worked out or doing something, you want to feel that soreness. And you want to take it all the way up to your head, and you want to feel your eyes and maybe the stress that they've been under in your mind, and feel all that. Really get in tune with it. And then as soon as you go back to your head, you want to go back all the way down to your stomach, to your core. And then you want to tell it all to go away. And you want to bring peace to your body. Now, as I tell you that super fast, none of us felt it. I didn't feel it either, right? It's a process that takes time. I would give yourself at least a half an hour at a minimum to do this, and you might even find yourself taking an hour and a half until you fall asleep. It's so relaxing. But that is my tip for you today as one of the ways in which when life gets crazy, you just have to take a pause, and you got to do it for yourself. You can't let life overwhelm you, because you're better than that. The only way to live full out is to bring that patience into your body. Now we are going to go back to the lines. I get word here that from our producer that we have another caller on the line. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, Nancy. How are you today?
I am great. I'm great. How can we help you today?
You're talking a lot about patience, and it's something that I've been a pretty patient person all my life. But, I've got, my situation is I've got my father who is terminal, and, my parents got a divorce when I was 12. So my father really he wasn't really there for me pretty much all of his life. And now that he's terminal, he expects me to be there pretty much, as often as I can. And when I can't because of my daily obligations, there's a feeling of manipulation there that goes on, and I'm so frustrated. I feel like I've got no patience with him, and because of that, I feel guilty.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's funny. I really feel you on that one. My parents got divorced when I was 10. My dad has now passed, but he was terminal as well with brain cancer and lung cancer. But I remember that time as well. And I'd had a distance in my life from him due to being in that divorced family at such an early age. So I'm right there with you. I think you have to think of two things. Number one, the time that you can give your dad, just make that as special as it can be. And I want you to memorize moments. I want you to memorize the touch of his hand. I want you to really memorize his smile, the twinkle in his eyes. My dad lost his hair, but I remember rubbing his bald head. And just take in those moments. At the same time, in that your dad's terminal, focus on the positive. Focus on the good times that you have shared together, even though it wasn't your whole life. And that is the greatest gift that you can give to him. Now,
Right.
Your dad, your mom, my dad already passed, you and me, we're all going to go at some point. We don't know when, okay? So you also have to make sure that you take care of you. And if you truly give your dad all the best of you when you're with him, you shouldn't feel guilty because you can't do anymore. You're giving him the best that you can. So when we make up excuses, when we dodge going to the hospital, when we say we're going to call every day to ourselves, I'm going to call my dad every day, and then we don't, well, then that is on us. Then we can feel guilty. But if you truly give as much of you as you can, you see him as often as you can, you cherish those memories, you call him, if you do as much as you can, then you have to let that guilt go. Because you shouldn't regret something that you're doing well. So you're punishing yourself for something that you're doing well. Do you see that?
It's just that he's a hardcore Italian character, and in part of my culture, they teach you, when you grow up and your parents get old, you got to take care of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad's been in this country for the past 50 years, and unfortunately, I rarely saw him, and now he's just expecting so much of me, and I feel that and it's really, really challenging to try to divide yourself when you've got so many personal obligations in your life, and plus be there on a daily basis for him.
Well, and that's where you have to protect yourself. In life, we have to protect ourselves. Give 110% of yourself at work. Be there as much as you can for your dad. And do all those things. Consider life as like a pie. And your dad is a slice of pie. Career is a slice of the pie. Sleeping, taking care of yourself is a slice of the pie. Your personal development, right? You just have to make sure that you try to give equal measure to all those slices of the pie. And you might give your dad a little extra love, a little extra attention just because he is terminal and we don't know how long we have with him. But at the same time, you have to protect yourself. You have to validate yourself. You have to give yourself credit for when you're doing good things and not punish yourself and not allow yourself to feel guilty. So we're talking today about patience because I feel like you need to be more patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. I want you today to go home. I want you to look in the mirror. And if you cry, you cry. But I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to tell yourself how proud you are of all that you do. Because really, what I'm hearing in your voice is, yes, you want to be there for your dad. Yes, you feel guilty. But at the end of the day, you got a lot on your shoulders. And I think you need to tell yourself you're doing a good job. Okay? But thank you so much for calling in, and we'll be thinking about you today. Okay?
Thank you very much.
And for everybody, we'll be coming right back after this break. Again, this is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and we're talking about patience, bringing patience into our life. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Living Full Out Show. I am Nancy Solari, and today we're talking about patience. Whew, just that word. Everybody say it to themselves because that's what we want. We want a peaceful life. We want to be free. We want to have patience. We want to feel like we're walking on clouds, right? That's such an awesome feeling. But sometimes we get dragged down with the heaviness of the everyday grind, the responsibilities, and sometimes the mistakes or the things that don't work out in our lives. I want you to take time today to put all that aside. Find one thing today that would bring you joy. Do one thing today that allows you to slow your life down for half a second. Maybe it's just taking a half an hour to watch a TV show that, normally you'd be zooming around the house or doing other things for other people, but today, take that half an hour. Take that half an hour and go on a walk because we don't have tomorrow. There's no guarantees of tomorrow. And we can't be held back by the past either. All we have is right here and right now. So you want to maximize and appreciate every moment. And again, that is part of being patient with ourselves and with all the requirements and all the people in our lives. Now, we're going to go back to the phone lines. Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. How can we help you today?
Well, what stresses me out right now is my love confession to my coworker.
Okay.
Well, after I confessed to that person, and that person didn't want to see me anymore, didn't want to hang out with me, so I don't know what to do right now. It really stresses me out.
And do you see that person every day?
Well, every week.
Okay, every week. So
I want to see more, yeah.
okay, so you came to them, which is really courageous. I'm proud of you for that. You came to them and said, "This is how I feel." And then unfortunately, they didn't feel the same way, right? And now you still see them once a week and you still want to be with them, but you're trying to figure out how to do that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the most attractive quality about any person, it's really not their looks. Looks are going to come and go, right? And I'm sure you're beautiful. But the thing is the attractive quality of everybody is personality and our confidence. So I think it's stellar, just awesome that you stepped out there and that you confessed to that person how you felt. Now, we have to respect other people's feelings or where they are. Now, I want you to hear me loud and clear on this. When that person told you no, that actually may have nothing to do with you. Because sometimes we're still held up on triggers from our past. Perhaps that person has a past relationship that they haven't got over. Maybe at one point they were hurt by somebody, and that is kind of a trigger or holds them back. Maybe they have things going on in their lives right now that have nothing to do with you. But when you brought this request to them, it was just something that they couldn't even take on. And because of all those pressures, maybe they didn't want to say yes to you because they knew they couldn't be to you what you want them to be. That's a possibility. It's one possibility. Mm-hmm. Another possibility is that they are in love or in like with somebody else, somebody that you don't even know. Again, that has nothing to do with you. That's just unfortunate timing because they're pining away for someone and you can't help that, right? Again, that has nothing to do with you. Third option is that, maybe they respect you as a friend and maybe they're just not sure, because the thing is when people go from friendship to romance and then maybe they go back to friendship, maybe they don't. There are a lot of people who don't risk that friendship because they like that friendship so much they just don't want to go there. They don't want to rock that boat. Now again, I go back to applauding you because you're like, "No, I'm a boat rocker. Let's rock that boat." Right? I love it. Okay? And so here's the moral of this story is always be that woman that rocks the boat. If this person was not ready to engage with you in terms of going on a date or starting up something romantic, then you got to lovingly, as their friend, set them free. But you continue to be that boat rocker. You continue to be that courageous person that steps out there and says, "I might get shot down. Someone might say yes. Who knows? But I'm going to try." I'd much rather you continue to be that person. And that is a really attractive quality. That is something that other people look at and go, "I want what she's got. How do I get that?" Okay? Now I know this doesn't ease your pain because obviously you still see them from week to week and you still want to be with them. But the next time you see them at work, I want you to look at them as a friend. And I want you to say, "I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know if you're burdened with obligations. I don't know if there's someone else that you are pining away for that you care about. But you know what? I dig you. Yeah. I love you as my friend, and let's just be friends." And let them see that confidence. Okay. Is that something you can do?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Are you gonna continue to rock the boat? Rockety rockety?
Of course.
Of course. Exactly. Awesome. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I love that. Girl after my own heart. We're talking about patience. Sometimes patience is calming. Sometimes it's finding peace. But sometimes it's rocking the boat. Because if we allow life to just be stagnant, if we play it safe, if we don't step out there and really grab what we want in life, that's not living full out. That's settling. And so when you live full out, you want to step out there. You want to say, gosh, when I close my eyes at night and I dream in color, that's what I want. And how do I get that? Or as our first caller earlier today called in about all those arguments that she was having with friends and how she felt like she was playing small in life and being picked on. She doesn't need to do that either. The patience within her can rise up to give her the courage and give her the strength to stand up for herself. So patience can be a calming thing, but it can also be a reminder where we need to step up in life and grab life with both hands, not just one hand, but really tight with both hands. You know, for me, I'll share a story with you. Obviously, being legally blind is not a walk in the park. I promise you that. And it has come with a lot of patience. I have, for example, on my computer, software that talks because I can't see my computer. I can't, see my mouse or see the words or anything. It talks to me. Well, once in a while, it'll stop talking. Oh my gosh, you better believe it. I got deadlines, I got emails, I got all these things going on, and I can't get this computer to talk. I can press those buttons, I can turn it off, I can turn it on, and sometimes it still won't start or it won't talk. So what do? Do I get angry? Do I get sad? Do I blame my eyes for going blind? Do I get angry because the software program won't work? No. I take a minute. Maybe I take an hour, cool down, and then I say, you know what? Somebody has got to be able to figure this out and help it start talking again. And it's moments like that that I call a resource. I call an IT person. I use programs like TeamViewer or different ways. Even an iPhone. For me, sometimes when I can't see something, I'll FaceTime somebody and I'll put my phone up to like a can of soup and ask them, what does that say? Or up to a credit card, what is that number? The whole thing here in life, you want to get resourceful. You want to find ways to troubleshoot your problems. That's how you get around the challenge. That's how you get to being in a more patient place. That challenge comes at you and you say, oh my gosh, another one? But you're gonna have a moment of anger and sadness and frustration. Another challenge? Come on, really? Okay, another one? Sometimes we get multiple ones in one day. But you want to look at that challenge and you want to say, you know what? You're not going to throw me off my path. You're not going to make my day go bad. I can figure this out. Somebody can help me figure this out. And that's what you want to focus on. It's really important to me that with this show, that each week we come away, all of us, me included, with ways in which we can evolve and grow. Have you thought about over the course of this show an area in your life where you need patience? And if you haven't, we have another segment for you to hone in on that. And if you have, I want you to think about what can you do today to get that challenge, to get that struggle out of your life, or at least to diminish it so it doesn't have so much power over you. That again is how you bring patience into your life. Then I want you to think about if it's something that you can't troubleshoot, you can't control or fix yourself, who can help you? What friend, what family member, what professional, who can you reach out to help you with that challenge? And when you get resourceful and you take action, that's how you bring patience into your life. So it's really important that as we close out today's show, we've got one more segment. Again, we're taking your calls. That number again is 800-333-0001. As we close out the show, I want you to put together that action plan for how you're going to bring patience into your life. Also, when we think about all the different callers that we have on this show, look at all the callers we've had already today. Everybody is just looking to get to a place where they're peaceful, where the challenges don't keep falling like rain from the sky. And how do you make that happen? It's always going to be within you. The confidence that you have within yourself, your ability to express to people in your life what you need, your ability to take time for yourself, watching that show for a half an hour, taking a nap, or that exercise I taught you early in the show about laying down and calming your body down. Whatever you need to do, again, you have that ability to bring that peace and that patience into your life. The great thing about it is the answer is always inside you. You just have to be patient and let yourself find it. You'll always have the answer. So we're going to be coming back after this segment and taking your calls. Again, I am Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. We'll be right back. Well, here we are, final segment of the show. I can't believe it. I am Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. Today, we're talking about patience. We've had so many good callers sharing what is going on in their life and how they can get to a more patient place. Patience with people, patience with themselves, patient with time. When we think of all that, it can really stress us out. It can load us down. And how can you live full out with all those burdens on your shoulder? Remember that you have the ability to set yourself free. You have the ability to slow the car down. When I say slow the car down, oftentimes we're racing through life, right? We're pedal to the metal. We're trying to do all we can. And while I admire that ambition, very much like myself, sometimes you have to slow the car down. You have to get out of the car, stretch your legs. Sometimes you want to off-road, do something completely different you've never done before. And so it's important that as we round out today's show, you think about where in your life you can become more patient and then how you can apply a plan of action to achieve that goal. Now, we're going to go back to the phone lines and talk to one of our callers. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for calling in. How can we help you today?
I'm struggling with how even to begin to know how to slow the car down. I've been a single mother of two for 24 years, and it's just difficult trying to hold down a job, being a supervisor at a job, trying to come home and see about dinner, homework for the 17-year-old, guidance leadership for the 24-year-old, that I feel like I'm not having time for myself. I feel like I'm having a problem being able to ask for help for myself. I get lonely. I feel like I just don't even have anybody to reach out to express, to scream, to let it go.
You know what? First of all, I'm applauding. I'm clapping because you are living full out, girl. You are doing it. However, the person you're leaving in the dust is yourself. Okay, so I applaud you for all the ways that you try to be there for your coworkers, your kids, your friends, responsibilities. You are doing it. So first of all, let's just applaud you for that. Because sometimes we need to recognize what we're doing really well, and you're doing really good in all those areas. The one place that you need to up the ante a bit is you. So what brings you joy? What is something that makes you happy?
What brings me joy is just being outdoors, like going to the beach, going to the lake, going to the mountain, just doing that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That brings me joy.
And when was the last time you did that?
Maybe 2 years.
Okay. And where did you go?
2 years ago, I went to Myrtle Beach. I used to go to the mountain every Sunday, but then I got active in church, so that kind of took that away because church gets out late, and then I'm finding myself rushing home to try to get ready for the work week. So that got taken away.
Hold on. Pause. Now you're going into superhero, right? You're being that superhero again, helping everybody else. Yeah. See, here's the coaching here. You have to stay focused on you a little bit more. So you think about you do. I think you probably think of you every day, maybe multiple times a day, but then it's a fleeting thought. You bounce quickly from you to other people. Or in that conversation, we talked for like half a second about where you went, and then you were on to the responsibilities, right? So as we talk about patience today, one of the things I want you to try is to be more patient with yourself, a little bit more giving to yourself. I know you want to be the best mom to your 17-year-old and your, 22, 24-year-old. But is it okay if maybe out of all the time you spend with them, you can take 10 minutes away from that for you? Is it possible? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can.
Okay. And then let's see, maybe is it possible you could get up maybe 10 minutes earlier each day before all those responsibilities hit? Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe, get to work 10 minutes earlier so that you have time to maybe walk outside, listen to some music on your phone or on the radio. See, all these little moments you can steal for yourself, and you can give time back to you. So maybe in the morning it's reading your Bible. Maybe before you go to work it's putting on a song that makes you happy, or looking at pictures that make you happy. Kind of setting, like resetting yourself inside to have a good day, not being so rushed. Maybe before you go into superhero mom mode, you take 10 minutes for yourself and you go on a walk. Or you even go into the bedroom and you just turn on some music, light a candle, take 10 minutes and just be with yourself, and just maybe try on something that you bought, or I don't know, just whatever you want to do. But if you have those little 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, that will all add up to an hour a day, 2 hours a day, however much time you give yourself that you don't have now. Is that something you can do?
You know what? That's awesome, because you always think, oh, I'm so used to doing this for an hour, so if I can't do it for an hour, I'm not going to do it. But I never thought about breaking it up to 10 minutes.
There you go. It only takes 10 minutes. And are you worth it? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Well, thank you for calling in, and we'll be cheering you on, okay? But have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Nancy. You too.
You got it. Thank you. So, hey,
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I want to thank everybody here who joined us today, and to our entire Living Full Out team here in the studio. Wow, they really put together a great show each week. And I want to thank you, the listener, and we want to hear from you. Remember, reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com or go to livingfullout.com to hear today's show. We'll see you next week.